episode of Trinidad Bhojpuri Words and Phrase. In this episode, we have a Kaise Bole Hindustani Mein segment. Kaise Bole, how do you say Hindustani Mein in Hindustani? Kaise Bole, fence Hindustani Mein. We also examine the Trinidad Bhojpuri words MUKUT, JHANDEE, DHARAY. We take a look at SEWAA and our food-related word JALEBI. This is a KDC production in collaboration with Vinay Harrichan of the Cutlass magazine and Dr. Visham Bhimull of Caribbean Hindustani. Kaise bole fence Hindustani mein? How do you say fence in Hindustani? Comments received mostly bar, and someone did make mention of gher or ghera. In Fiji, they say geta, I believe. And Anurag said ghera or bar. And it also means to surround somebody. Ghera, that is the old Hindi film line, police ne tumhe charo taraf se gher liya hai. Police has surrounded you from all sides.
So the word I grew up with was gher. You have to remember that often a lot of old words survived in our Caribbean Hindustani. As an example, the other word you had gotten, I think, was bard, which is a Hindi word. And, well, essentially it means, well, the word gear is like an enclosement. The best I could describe is like the Ramlila field, not as Ramlila time. So that's the word I grew up knowing to mean a fence.
Someone made mention of parda. So parda we know would be a partition. A fence can also be a partition, but in this case a parda is something completely different.
Parda hai parda. Parda is a curtain. I mean, it's a loan word in English. So it's a partition as in a veil over a face.
So we move on to another Trinidad Bhojpuri word, and a very popular one, especially around this time with Ram Leela in motion, MUKUT, and based on the comments, well, all across the board, crown or headgear.
Yes, exactly. So the Hindustani word mukut, or some people also mention another version of the pronunciation makut or makuta. It basically translates to crown, as a lot of people said, or headgear or headpiece. And it comes from the Sanskrit word meaning crest. And some people have responded and asked whether it's only male headgear or female headgear. But the word mukut can also translate to a crest, a crown, a diadem, a tiara. So it doesn't have a gendered element. I think a lot of us are more familiar with the mukut that we see people wearing as part of their costume for Ram Leela or Krishna Leela. And so maybe that's why people thought it was only male headgear instead of it being able to be used by both men and women. And then if you listen to the Sam Budram song, Sham Chubby, where he's talking about the likeness or the image or the appearance of Sham, meaning Lord Krishna, he says in one of the lines, Sirpar Mukuta Balori, meaning that the crown on Lord Krishna's head looks very beautiful. So we see it there used in a lot of our bhajans, a lot of our folk songs.
Trinidad Bhojpuri phrase or expression, and this again, Ram Leela related, Puja related. We are into the Diwali season, so we're seeing a lot of this. JHANDEE, DHARAY, and most people were able to identify in JHANDEE the flags. Shirley says after the puja we put down the flag. Choi says plant the flag, placing down the flag. Most others have said simply flag. Sudhir, who lives in Fiji, thinks it should be JHANDEE Gari, meaning to raise the flag. Navin Virat Singh says to plant the flag. My family says JHANDEE Urhao, to fly the flag. Lynn also believes it's JHANDEE Gari, meaning to plant the flag. So over to you, Dr. Bhima.
The word gare does mean to plant, but in that context, a lot of the words we had gotten from Creole. So the English Creole way to say it would be to put up a flag, and the word to put in Trinidad Bhojpuri is dharay. So as me growing up, the expressions being used, it'll be JHANDEE, DHARAY.
Trinidad Bhojpuri word SEWAA, and from the messages, SEWAA, selfless service, service to others, service to those less fortunate, simply selfless service or service.
Yes, so the Hindustani word sewa, and some people might know seva, but seva is more of the Hindi Sanskrit pronunciation. Our Trinidad Bhojpuri, we tend to say sewa because the V changes to a W, just in the same way Diwali becomes Diwali. So sewa most basically translates to service, as a lot of people mention, but being a religious concept in Hinduism, it's a lot more complex than that. It's not just service, but it typically is an act that is done, selflessly, where there's no expectation for award or anything to be given in return. And sewa comes from the Sanskrit root save, and save means to serve. So you can kind of see the meaning transcribed there from the Sanskrit to the Bhojpuri. And so it's important to know that, it is a religious concept. And so different people give their different interpretations. Another one that I've heard is doing something in dedication to another person, doing something in honor of another person with respect for that person. So all of those are applicable.
And as usual, we wrap up with a food-related word and a sweet one. And this is a very popular word. I don't think we had any challenges with this one. Jalebi.
Yes, I really love the responses for this one because it kind of just shows that as much as we have adopted English as our spoken language, there are certain words that just cannot be replaced. A lot of people would respond to me and say, well, how can I define jalebi? Jalebi is jalebi, but we know it to be a very sweet mithai, which is an Indian dessert. And people know the shape of jalebi. It's round, it kind of looks like a pretzel shaped, and it's a very sweet dish. Now, jalebi as a word is believed to have originated from the Arabic word zulabia or the Persian word zolbia, and jalebi as a dish is said to have roots in what is now modern-day Afghanistan and other parts of the Middle East, and so would have come to South Asia via migration, via all of the different market sellers on the trade routes, via the Mughal Empire as well. So that's how it ended up landing in our language. And as we know, in Bhojpuri, in standard Hindi, there's a lot of loanwords from Persian and Arabic. So this is just another example of that. And to hear it in a song, people might know that recent song, Jalebi Baby. But there's also the Bollywood song Jalebi Bai, and that is from the movie Double Dhamal, and it features Malika Sherawat, and you'll hear it now.
Well, this has been another episode of Trinidad Bhojpuri Words and a Phrase. We hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and keep up with us on Trinidad Bhojpuri Words and Phrase. This is a KDC production in collaboration with the Cutlass magazine and Caribbean Hindustani.